Robert Ferringo with Doc Sports Services, here with our good friend Raphael Esparza. If you like what you see in here today, be sure to go to docsports.com. That's docsports.com for all of your handicapping needs. If you are interested, click that button above or down in the comments section. Get a free $60 account set up. That's $60 free that we are just giving to you out of the kindness of our hearts for you to use towards picks at Doc Sports from any handicapper in any sport and any package that you want. So check us out. So today we are talking college basketball. It is a Thursday free play video. And Raphael, we're going to get this video started exactly where I know you want to go. One of your favorite conferences in the country, right? You love those mid-majors. We're going to start with a big game on the board. Arkansas State at Troy. That's right. Arkansas State +4 at Troy, 7 p.m. game. You live in Louisiana, so the Sun Belt is in your backyard. This is the number 1 and the number 2 team in the Sun Belt right now going head-to-head. And I know that there are people out there being like, why the hell are they starting this video in the Sun Belt? Well, Arkansas State is 11-6 against the spread this year. Troy is 13-7 against the spread. Add that up. That is 24-13 against the spread from these two teams. So if you didn't know about them beforehand, maybe you should start looking at them. Raphael, what do you see in this matchup?
Oh, I love me some Troy Trojans at the Trojan Arena, and it's Valentine's Day around the corner, so we kind of want to put mix in together when you're talking a little Trojan hoops. But give me the Trojans in this one. They've won 3 straight on this one. They looked really good on their back-to-back wins. Georgia Southern had nothing to do with them. Georgia State had nothing wanted to do with them. I like the way they play defense. If you like unders, this is the game you want to bet the under too, because sometimes scoring from the Red Wolves could be hard to find, especially if they're not hitting that open J. Wait to see what that total comes out. Probably going to be around with the low 140s. If you see 142 or higher, stick around for this video because maybe that's my free play. You never know. But yeah, I'm all about the Trojans on this one. Give me Troy in this.
Yeah, this actually is a pretty interesting game because, the Sun Belt is going to produce an NCAA tournament team. And right now, these are 2 of the best teams. So, if it is one of these 2, you kind of want to see how they match up head-to-head, right? With Troy, they're coached by Scott Cross. He used to be at UT Arlington. He was a very good coach for a long time. Loves to use his bench. They're number 2 in the country in bench minutes. They have a 10-man rotation, so they just throw bodies at you. Arkansas State, they were a team I was on early in the year because in the offseason, they had the makeup of a team that I love betting in November and December. They brought back all 5 starters from last year's team. That was a little bit of an underachiever, around 500. And they added an impact transfer, Desi Sills, high flyer from Arkansas. So you have the 6-7-man rotation of Arkansas State going on the road to face this 10-man rotation of Troy. It's going to be a little bit of a grinder, but this is a game that, maybe if it isn't of major interest to you now, you watch it, pay attention to it, put it in your pocket, what you learn from it, because these are 2 teams that may be facing off in a few weeks in that Sun Belt tournament, and maybe we'll hit that for a little bit bigger bet down the road. So, all right.
And let me rephrase this. I'm going to rephrase this on Troy. That's what you need to watch this, Troy. Like you said, one of these 2 teams are probably going dancing. And if Troy's going dancing, not only are they going to be a tough out, but this head coach might be wearing a new jacket next year because I think he's going to be a hot commodity with some of these openings of what he's doing in Troy. You just said he loves to use his bench. I think we're trying to see that now in college hoops. More deep teams usually go far in college hoops. He might be wearing a different jacket for a school next year. I would definitely want to watch this game if you have not watched the Red Wolves and Trojans play.
Yeah, 100%. This is his 3rd year there. First year started with 9 wins. Last year, I think they had 11 or 12 wins. This year, they're already at 16. So they're obviously trending in the right direction. All right, a team that is not trending in the right direction, that is most definitely trending in the wrong direction, is the Maryland Terrapins. So the second game on the board tonight that we're looking at is Iowa at Maryland. Maryland's been kind of a mess. All right, they're a little bit off the rails. They can't shoot. They're really ugly to watch offensively. They've lost 3 games in a row. They're facing an Iowa team that looks to be on the up and up, that is working on shoring up that NCAA tournament at-large bid. Raphael, first of all, where do you see this number coming in? And second of all, could Maryland spring a trap here, or is this Iowa only?
I think this is Iowa only. I'm still trying to figure out how the heck did the Turtles, go to Rutgers Rutgers, a road game on that one. We were high praise on Rutgers on our Wednesday video, even though we have the same shirts on and it's Thursday. But I'm still trying to figure out how that happened, getting that big road win. I'm fading. I'm still going to fade the Turtles in this one. You said they lost 3 straight. They're a complete mess on offense. And I'm sorry, Iowa. If Iowa hits the open J and if that 3-ball goes down and they control the boards, this one could be ugly quickly. I would not be shocked if the Hawkeyes get a little bit of momentum. They've been struggling too. They lost a bad game to Penn State. I think they lose to Purdue pretty badly. They need a big win. I'm not saying beating Maryland's a big win, but anytime you get a conference win on the road can maybe change your momentum, getting closer to conference tournament time. I'm all over Hawkeyes in this one. I want nothing to do with the sad Turtles, even though I'm named after a turtle.
What do you have this number coming in at?
Probably around 4 or 5, I would think. Iowa probably be.
Yeah, that's
just on that three. Just the three. The 3 losses, especially.
Yep. I'm actually going to go the other way with you on this one, or go the other way from you on this one. I'm actually going to be looking at Maryland a little bit. That number is going to be small, but I think that Iowa is susceptible on the road. They're 1-5 straight up in their last 6 road games. They're just not the same team on the road. They're not a great defensive team. The defensive intensity is never there for them. They're a team that tries to outscore opponents. So if Maryland, who's been so bad offensively, can find a little bit of a rhythm and find a little bit of confidence scoring against this weak Iowa defense, I think that this could be a get-right game for them. And this is one that could fall the Terps' way. I kind of like them as a home underdog here. All right, another big home underdog that a lot of people are going to be walking sideways away from on Thursday is Clemson. They are at home against Duke. Duke coming off that loss. They had pretty much a predictable weekend, right? Like first they go in and they hammer North Carolina. And then they turn around and quickly have a obvious letdown against Virginia, and they lose at home, which they very, very rarely do. Catching Duke off of a loss this year has been pretty lucrative. It's only happened 3 other times, and they followed that up with a 41-point win, a 12-point win at Wake Forest, top 25 Wake Forest team, and a 20-point win against Syracuse. Raphael, any reason that we shouldn't be hopping on the Blue Devils here, and where do you think this number is going to be coming in?
No, you stole my thunder. I would lay Duke if it's anything between 4, 5, and 6. I highly doubt we see 6 on this one. But you just said it right there. Coming off of losses, you pound Duke their next game. That 40-point win, their impressive win against your team Syracuse when they're coming off a loss. I agree with him. If you can get a nice number, which I'm hoping we can get 4, 5, 6 on this one. Again, if it's 6. I'll probably lay off on that one, but I'm all about the bounce back here. And you said it. It was so scripted with Duke and on Saturday with North Carolina, and then so scripted when Duke's at home and still talk. I mean, they open up the broadcast still talking about that win of North Carolina, not even thinking about Virginia was playing that game, and then Virginia goes out and beats them, and the Cameron Crazies are crying. This is something probably it's good for Duke. Coming off of a home loss, what do? You go on the road. You get that distraction out for coming off that loss. I think they bounce back huge on this one. I'm not sold on Clemson right now. I don't want to discuss about their back-to-back losses. They got beat. They lost to North Carolina, which, again, here's another scripted. What's North Carolina going to do after they come off a home loss with Duke? They come back and get beat up on Clemson. But that loss against Georgia Tech was just nuts. That. I mean, they were horrible in the second half. They couldn't shoot the ball in the second half. If you had the under, you're probably still doing backflips because you got lucky on that one. But, yeah, I want nothing to do with Clemson.
So I agree with you. I think this number is going to open around 5, 5.5. I think it'll be bet up. I actually do think it'll get to 6. And if it gets to 6, is Clemson worth a look? They're just 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games. But 4 of those 6 losses have come by 2, 5, 2, and 2 points. On the season, 7 of their 11 losses have been by 6 points or fewer. So, if you just look blindly at their record, you see a mediocre to bad ACC team, right? But if you dig a little deeper, they've played a lot of good teams very, very tough. They're 4-4 against the spread against Duke in their last 8 meetings, all right? So no advantage either way. But that at least shows me that they're not getting their doors blown off by the Blue Devils. Little John will be rocking. This is a big game for Clemson. They're not going anywhere fast. So if they could upset Duke, this would be, their game of the year, their national championship game. So Raphael, if it did get to 6.5, at what point would Clemson be worth a look here?
For me, from how I could still close my eyes and see how they played. There's those losses. Still see how they played against Georgia Tech. I'm saying 8 for me. 7 or 8, I might take a look. If it's 6, I'll probably just push it aside and not look at it. But yeah, I need 7 or 8 if I'm going to put my hard-earned money on Clemson.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not going to get there. So, hey, sometimes the best bets are the ones that you don't make. I will be interested to see if Duke can continue to roll after a loss. Now, all right, talking about games where the number is going to be bigger than you think, we're going to dip back into a little mid-major action. Morehead State at Belmont. I know. Not moving the meter here with Morehead State. However, this is a really, really big game. All right, let me set the scene a little bit here, Raphael. Morehead State is in second place in the Ohio Valley Conference. They're 11-1 in league play. Their only losses come to number 23 Murray State, who, oh, by the way, has been a wrecking ball in the OVC this year. All right, OVC team plays its way into the top 25. They're doing something right. So Morehead State 11-1, they're in second place. Right behind them in third place at 10-2 in league play, the Belmont Bruins. Okay, so we have the number 2, number 3 team going at it here. But to set the stage a little more, these two teams actually met in the Ohio Valley Conference championship game last year. Belmont, the favorite, got absolutely smoked. They got ran out of the gym. They lost by 15 points to Morehead State, who ended up going on to the NCAA tournament. So when we look at this game, we got number 2 team going on the road to face revenge-minded Belmont, who, oh, by the way, has already lost to Morehead State this year. I think this spread is going to open at 9 points. I think Belmont is going to be a 9-point favorite in this game. Raphael, am I crazy? And am I even crazier to actually like the Bruins in this one?
I'm all about Morehead State on this one. I thought Belmont was only a racetrack, not a college basketball school. But I still remember that game where Morehead just ran them out of it. And you know how they won? Bad three-point shooting. They only shot like 40% from the field. And you know what? They shot 59% from free throw line. I'm sorry. If you're going to shoot 59% from the free throw line in any game, you deserve to lose. And again, they're struggling this year at the free throw line. If I can get +9, I'm probably going to look at Morehead. Who doesn't like Morehead during Valentine's Day weekend? But I'm telling you, give me Morehead State if I can get +9 on this one. I'm not sold on Belmont. They're a nice team. They're at home. But wow, that's a big number. I made this number between 6 and 7.
I think it's going to be a little bit higher than that, and here's why. Morehead State has not beaten Belmont in Belmont since the Bruins joined the Ohio Valley in the 2012-2013. Okay? Here are the point differentials in those games. Morehead State has lost at Belmont by 15, 18, 17, 43, 16, 6, 1, 14, and 19 points. So in 9 attempts in Belmont, they have stayed within 14 points twice. I know this is a good Morehead State team. I know they're a very good underdog. They played Murray State tough in that game. They ended up losing by 11, but that final score was misleading. It was a 2-point game.
Yeah, free throws all over that game.
Yes. It was a 6-point game with 5 minutes left, and Murray State was able to extend it up to an 11-point win. So Morehead State, tough. Respect them, like them a lot. I just think that the revenge factor is going to be big for Belmont. Already losing to Morehead once this year, losing to them in that Ohio Valley Championship game. The Bruins can go bonkers in their own gym. They can run people out of that gym real quick. I think this is going to be a surprise blowout. I really like Belmont here. All right. Final game of the night, maybe the best game of the night. Number 3, Purdue is going to Michigan. Now, these two teams, if you say Purdue and Michigan, that sounds awfully familiar. That's because they just played last Saturday. Purdue was a 9.5-point favorite at home. They did beat Michigan, but they didn't cover the spread, winning 82-76 in this game. Purdue just bombed Illinois Tuesday night, played a great second half, and demolished Illinois. Now they're going on the road, facing a team that they just saw. Do we see a letdown from the Boilermakers here, Raphael?
We could. I mean, Michigan's starting to play a little better. I mean, they split their last 4 games. I still like the way they play defense at times, especially in the second half. I just think Purdue's length and is just going to bother them. I just think Purdue's going to dominate the boards, feed the big man, and try and play and cover the 3 ball, and you'll be able to beat Michigan on the road. I like Purdue in this one, but I'm a little scared on my number. I put a big question mark on my number on this one because I think the odds makers are going to think Purdue's just going to dominate this game. I would not be shocked if they over-adjust the Boilermakers because they had 2 really good wins. Those wins were at home, Illinois and Michigan. They weren't at on the road. They were both at home. So I think the odds makers might way over-adjust. So I want to say I'm looking at Purdue, but I would not be shocked if that number is too big, and I might have to either look at Michigan or just pass away.
That number is going to be 4.5. That's where I see this number. I don't think it's going to be too big, but, that's still healthy as a road favorite going into Ann Arbor. Look, you're right. Michigan's not very good. They're not a very good team. All right, they're 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games, but they're only 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. And to your point, if you have watched them play, they just do not look comfortable. They do not look good. This isn't a great matchup for Michigan because they have their big guy, Hunter Dickinson, but he's got to deal with the 2-headed big man monster that Purdue is able to throw at teams with Edey and Williams. So all that being said, Michigan is only 12-9 overall. This is a huge game for them. All right, they lose this game, their NCAA tournament hopes are pretty much flushed down the toilet. All right, they need a marquee win. If they can notch a top 5 win, if they can get revenge for that loss last Saturday, if they can catch Purdue going on the road in that letdown spot, I think there's a lot of things pointing Michigan's way in this one. For me, it's Wolverines or nothing. Love Purdue. I've been on the Purdue bandwagon all season long, but as you mentioned, they're a completely different team at home than they are on the road. I just see a lot of arrows starting to point the Wolverines' way for this one. So
I got a question. Quick question for you: is Michigan in your bracket right now? If the bracket announcement was Sunday, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Even if they win this game, I still don't have them in my brackets. Maybe getting close to maybe last team in kind of category and stuff like that. I think if they win this game, it's not going to booster them up anyway. They're still out for me no matter what happens.
They still have games against Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan State, Iowa, Ohio State. Okay, they still have a lot of big opportunities to score some marquee wins. What I'm saying is they lose this game, it's not going to happen. They're not going to build up enough momentum and rack up enough big wins. So if they're sitting there at 18-12 or 17-13, but they have 6 or 7 wins against top 10, top 15 teams, you can make a case for them. They lose this game, it's pretty much over. But they win this game, I think they have enough opportunities down the stretch to build an NCAA tournament resume. So, all right, Raphael, give the people what they want. All right, give the people that good stuff. Give them that free play love for Thursday heading into Valentine's Day weekend.
It's Valentine's Day weekend. Why don't you play something with the word Trojans in their mascot? Arkansas State Troy Trojans game will go under the total. If you like offense, change the channel, stream something else, Disney Plus, watch a good romantic, watch a new J-Lo movie that's going to be on Peacock if you like a lot of scoring, because this one's not going to be a lot of points scored on this one. Under. If it's in the low 140s, I would definitely take this. If it's in the 130s, high 130s, maybe take a step back on this one. No scoring in this one. Give me the under Arkansas State Troy Trojans game.
All right, I'm going to give you 2. Number 1 is that Belmont game, which we already talked about. I like the Bruins. I think that they're going to go bonkers. That number is going to be high. All the money is going to come in on Morehead State, which hopefully will drag that number down. I've been wrong about Belmont at times this year. I took them at home against Murray State. They lost by 22 points. They very well could lose as a 9-point underdog in this game. I don't think that's going to happen. You look at their history against Morehead State. You look at the motivation that they're going to have in this game. I see a 12 to 15-point win for the Bruins. The second free play, I'm not a totals guy, Raphael. I hate college basketball totals. I have no interest in that.
Boo!
I like the under in that Purdue-Michigan game. Okay, they combined for almost 160 points last Saturday. Purdue scored 80 points at home. I do not see this game being played at the same pace. I do not see these two teams scoring at the same clip. I think that this one's going to be played in the 60s. So I like Purdue, Michigan under. So, all right, that's it. He's Raphael Esparza. I am Robert Ferringo. Be sure to check back next week for more college hoops handicapping extravaganzas. In the meantime, go to docsports.com. Super Bowl picks, people. Super Bowl weekend. Let's not forget about that. There's going to be plenty of big plays, plenty of free plays and free play videos. That's all I got for you. See you next week. In the meantime, Carpe Diem. Good luck.